you all the good stuff. So that's another thing about these trailers. We didn't put in all our surprises and good stuff. So when people go, hey, they just put all the good crap in there, and that's what they did. Just wait. We haven't shown you all the surprises. There are tons of surprises.
We got a lot more crap to show them.
We have a lot more crap, yes, as Rick would say. So why does everybody come up? And let's get this panel going. But again, we thank you for being here. That's the important part. We hope you'll spread the word on this. Get out there on Facebook. It's being streamed live right now. And we're hoping that people get the word on this. We want this in theaters. That's the plan where it's going to be. This will be a theatrical release. We're hoping between 350 to 500 screens to start. And we want this to be something that people go, I want to show my kids. We hope you'll buy it on DVD and pass it on to your kids. Because my last thing I will say about this is the others will start filtering in for the panel. And that is, I think DVD, the medium, is important. Downloading, fine. It's convenient. Streaming, fine. However, crap can be altered, and things can be changed, and that means censorship. There should be a permanent record of these type of things. So in the future, when somebody thinks something is offensive and they just expunge it from the record, how will your children ever know? That's why I think it's important to own DVDs and CDs, records, vinyl. It's a permanent record. So anyway, I'm going to start it off with Rick. Rick is the producer from Entertainment Factory who brought this all together, and Rick can tell us exactly how it all got started. Rick? And here comes Bill Moseley. And Sid.
Hold on, let's go ahead and give them a proper intro.
They're the new contestants on The Price is Right. We'll let these gentlemen speak as they took time from their booths. And as I said before they arrived, the important thing is thank these guys for the memories. That's what's important. They're living legends. They're more than just an autograph on a piece of paper. They gave us all something. So here we go.
Bag of apples?
Bag of apples? What does that mean?
Oh. Bag of apples sounds like code. Bag of apples.
Can you hear me? Okay. So the movie was brought to me on another set we were filming, and Michael Eisenstadt, who was Gunner's agent, said, "I got this great horror movie you're gonna love." And I was like, "All right, just when I get back home, email it, because everybody has a script. We get 3 a week, maybe more." And he followed it up. And then Gunner got on the phone with me, and we had a conversation. And it was just like, he was just such a gentle giant. And 2 days later, I get an envelope in the mail, and it was him in his garb from as Leatherface, and it said, "Rick, let's make a movie, Gunner." And I still have that picture. Oh, sorry. And he and I never met in person, but had 100, 150 phone calls, Skype conversations, and
somebody's got the mics pointed down.
I thought that was like a death house sign. You're all gonna die.
And so as we went on and doing it, and the original script of Gunners had to get changed, and there was another writer and a director, and it never worked out. And it was supposed to have been made a couple years ago, and everything fell through, like everything happened for a reason. And I met Harrison, and I was totally resistant. I didn't want to change anything. I was good where I was, but I was open to it. And we clicked right away. And the next day, he sent me an email, and it just evolved. And as it built, and we got all these great gentlemen, it was a Friday night. I'm going to get choked up, and I got a phone call. It was like 11 o'clock at night. And it was Mike Eisenstadt, and he said to me, something's wrong. And I was like, first I thought we lost the rights to the movie, and that was where my thought went right to business. And he said, Gunner's dying, and he's got a couple weeks to live, and that's when I found out. And so they got Gunner on the phone with me, with his partner Betty, and he wrote down what he wanted to say, and she read it because he couldn't speak. And he wanted to convey that he knew that he was going to die, and he knew that eventually I would have to do something where people would say I'm a vulture, or I'm doing whatever. And he wanted me to know that even if I showed the premiere on his gravesite, that whatever it took, because this was his dream, to make it happen. And I promised him I would. And I told him I'd write him a long letter on Monday, how I felt being, in his life. And 10 o'clock the next night, I got a call. He had just taken his last breath. So we never got to see him, but through Harrison's genius and movie magic, he's in this movie. And this will be his last performance. So he's going to go out in his own. And these gentlemen here really brought this together. He wanted everyone to be in this movie and to be part of it, and not just like he said, a cameo where they're in it for 2 seconds and they're gone. Not that we wouldn't do that to sell tickets, but that didn't happen in this case. So
they say.
So
you needed 3 more guys.
Right. Well, actually, to tell the truth, Sid wasn't even part of it, and I was pissed because he was originally, we were telling everybody he was in it, and then he said no, and we were in the trailer in Philadelphia and had a conversation with him, and I got so pissed off at his agent, I told him to go fuck himself, and Sid said that he would do the deal only if I smiled. And we hadn't even met yet. And then we got back to LA and we made the movie. Listen,
and you smiled.
And I smiled. But I was doing this to eyes and that at the same time because it wasn't FaceTime, so he didn't know what was going on. So let's turn it over to you guys. You guys are the stars here.
Are you in trouble? I knew Gunner for like 13 years, I think. 12 or 13 years. Greatest guy in the world, very calm, very peaceful, very intelligent, funny, and just a great philosophy of life. And I miss him, and I'm sure that's what got all of us together and decided that, Gunner needed to have this thing done. And so that's what we did. Yeah.
And for me, I've known Gunner even longer, just because of the chainsaw connection. I mean, Gunner to me will always be, of course, Leatherface. There have been many other leather faces, but Gunner, Leatherface. What was great was a couple of years ago, working on a forgettable movie called Texas Chainsaw 3D. I mean, there was a lot to forget, but the part to remember, that I remember fondly, was working with Gunner. Being actually in the old chainsaw house, a part of the family. Gunner now being the old, I guess the old timer of the Sawyer clan. And it was just great to work with him. It was great to finally get it all together. Marilyn, also Marilyn Burns, was on that. So it was a wonderful, as it turns out, a farewell to both of them, but a wonderful experience to work with old Gunner. I had seen Death House like maybe 7 years ago. I think I first read it, and it is amazing how it's evolved into what you will. I'm sure have you already seen the trailer?
Yeah, we just
okay.
showed it again.
Way to invite us.
No. We're showing it before you leave, too.
Yeah.
Oh,
We were pinned down by a Myra fan, so we couldn't get up there. We ran as fast as we could. And of course, Sid has an ankle bracelet, LAPD, so he can't really go that
I
fast.
can't go that far.
But we
I'm 100 feet away from my own head in there.
I had a lot to say, even though I'm not in the trailer. Apparently, I'm in the movie itself. And,
He's one of the surprises.
I'm a surprise, so don't tell anybody.
Yeah, don't tell anybody who's hearing it.
Don't tell anybody. But I did want to thank Harrison for the way he shot my scenes because I had a lot to say. And mercifully, you know, we did it in small pieces. So thank you for that, because it was a little too much for my brain. But you know, we had a lot of fun with Michael Berryman, with Vernon Wells from the first Mad Max. Yes, Vincent Ward. So that was a lot of, you know, we actually had fun shooting the day I was shooting. And then I do remember that the next day, I guess, you showed up.
And everything fell to shit.
I don't know what happened then, I wasn't there, but apparently Sid showed up, and everything kicked into a higher gear. Just you know, buttering me up there. But you know, it was a great experience. I look forward to seeing it. And the nice thing about Death House is there's a lot more to come. You know, after the initial Death House comes out, so there's a lot of room for it to grow into what we hope is a successful franchise.
Yes, sir.
And I just hope that I'm around long enough.
5 sequels.
Yeah, 5 sequels. Well, it's good because my younger daughter Marion is starting college next week, so I need to be at least. I need to be
All donations.
Make
sure it's a state school.
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
UCLA, so that's good.
All right.
And we live in Los Angeles, so we're making sure that she goes to a dorm. Because we want her out of the house. So yes, 4 more sequels, you know.
Yes.
I mean, some politicians say 4 more years, I say 4 more sequels.
I got nothing.
Over to you, Sid.
I got nothing. No, we had a good time, particularly when you know get to work with one of your good friends. I have to think of wives.
Who was that?
Joe.
Oh yeah, Joe and Sarah. Sure, yeah. Even a quarter naked, she's pretty good. Half naked?
No, depends on which quarter, you know.
So, wow.
I don't know where I'm going.
What scene did you have? I was talking like the healthy philosophy. Were they half naked women?
Yes, that is true. We
Get
gave
the
Sid,
sequel.
we gave Sid the sequel.
Mike Eisenstadt is my agent too, so I'm going to have him put language in the contract.
Naked clause.
He's my agent too. I guess I have to think
Now
about
you know why I do horror, because it's a nightmare.
But I guess I have a
Well,
thing
you
for.
can do 3/4 naked. I'm up to half naked. That's fine with me.
I guess I have a thing for throwing half-naked women, you know, around and not making that was it forever. I threw half-naked Lana Wood out the window of the hotel.
Right?
Now I'm throwing this one around. It's all fun.
What Sid isn't telling you is we also had a half-naked man in that scene too.
And it was Sid.
I brought it to the set.
Yes.
Well, the thing about half-naked women I found is that they go faster because there's less wind resistance. I don't know if that may be just, I don't know if that's scientific fact or if that's just
Speaking of naked, have you ever noticed that before making love, you help one another undress? When it's all over, you dress yourself.
That's heavy. And just a small part of Death House. You guys have a lot to look forward to.
I got nothing to that. I don't even know what to say.
You even got me speaking.
Sid Haig, everyone.
Sid Haig.
He'll be here all week. That was good. That was very good.
Try your waitress, shrimp will be here all day.
I am. Also, another cool thing, like I said, when I first saw Felissa in Sleepaway Camp, and of course I'd grown up with these gentlemen's movies, I remember when I was married the first time, when I was married, I saw Piranha 3D, and I remember walking out of Piranha 3D going, well, that Cody Longo played a good dick. Like, they should have given him more to do. And, because, right, would you agree? He was a good dick in Piranha 3D. He was the dick boyfriend. And I thought, he's on the radar. So when Death House came along, I thought of him instantly for Agent Novak. Because
We need a good dick.
yeah, we need a good dick. And that could be dangerous coming off Sid's bit. So, but I'll let Cody take it over on what he thought about being in the film. And he plays Agent Jay Novak, who is the counterpart to Courtney Palm's Agent Boone. And they are the two that end up going through Death House when the whole system breaks down. So I'll take it over to Cody, and he ends up dealing with Bill at the end, as a matter of fact.
By the way, Felissa's got some hot shoes.
Thank you.
I'm getting a lot of compliments, actually.
I'm getting distracted here.
How did it go now?
Yeah, I came on board when I heard about this project. Harrison gave me a call, and it's not every day that you get a script like this to come across my desk. Because I was coming up, I was doing some, like teen stuff and trying to get out of that whole world. And so I was like, Harrison, give me the lead of this movie. I swear I'll do anything to get out and do a real movie. So he did. He wasn't initially going to, but I was like, screw you, bro, you're giving me the lead of this film. No, it was awesome. I got to work with guys like this, and I was really in awe. I was so excited that day. Harrison had to pull me aside and be like, bro, calm down. I know this is exciting for you, but get your stuff together and let's shoot these scenes. No, but shooting in Philly, we had an incredible location, and working with Harrison was great, and Rick and Felissa and the whole crew. They really took care of us, and we had Courtney and I had a tough job on this one. I mean, we're going through Death House, and the movie is tough, but also it was really tough. So much.
It was Holmesburg Prison in Philadelphia.
Yeah, and so there was a lot going on there. Let's just say that. So mold, yeah. I mean, I think I still have a cough. But no, I mean, this journey was awesome. I got to play this badass agent, which is always fun, and we were able to get it together and pull some depth with it. Courtney was great to work with. She definitely holds her own. We shot this thing in Philly, and we went balls to the wall on this thing. And I think you guys are gonna like it. I'm naked in it.
No, wait a second.
We know. How many of you women in here know other women? You go to the horror movies together and you love horror.
Why was I not there?
Right. Stop. So how many women would pay money to see Cody Longo naked?
How many of you have a checkbook on you now?
But no, I was surprised. I had
Wait a minute. One fucking hand went up?
Get it up again and put it in your ass.
Come on, bro.
Stripper music on.
The stripper music.
Lights work, right?
Right.
Cue the pole.
My wife's here going.
Magic light.
Now you got me off track here.
Started off
How
track.
great the production team was.
Yeah, the production team was great. They really took care.
How was catering? That's what I want.
Catering rocks, man. Jeez, it's better than so
For all
much.
you future filmmakers out there, if you want to make a good movie, get good food.
Oh my gosh, this is so true. This will keep your actors
And
happy.
red licorice.
Yeah.
If it's 4 in the morning and you bring us fucking cold pizza, you're going to get a cold pizza performance.
Yeah. This is
We
true.
want soup
Yeah.
and little sandwiches with the crust cut off.
One thing that's really cool is I walked in on set when we were out in LA filming. That's when Bill and Michael and everybody, Sid, came onto the film there. And Tony Todd. We shot Tony in the desert. And there's Sid. There's Sid and his. We don't have the naked girl out there.
Sit looks like he's a Klingon.
Then we have Bill Obers. Okay, so we have Sean Whalen. So I got to walk on something pretty cool. It was Bill and Michael, I believe, and it was Kane. And they all together, and I'm praying that they got this on video, that all three of them did the Three Stooges, hello, hello. And it was so cool. This is what I'm talking about. Because I looked over at the assistant director and I said, we're seeing something pretty damn cool here. And I really do mean that. Like, to see these three greats doing something like this. I feel that I have the best job in the world to get to witness something like that.
You'd walk into the lunchroom and it was like, there's Kane Hodder, there's Sid Haig, there's Bill Moseley, Vernon Wells, you know, Dee Wallace, Barbara Crampton. It was fucking nuts. I was like, this is the coolest shit you'll ever witness. Like, I just stopped in my tracks because, you know, I'm a fan.
And then over in the corner you have Beverly
I'd like
Randolph.
to get your autograph, Sid.
Beverly Randolph.
That's one thing I was going to say, that working with Dee Wallace was incredible. We got to spend a lot of time with her. It was, Dee, with Courtney and I, go through the majority of Death House together. And Dee was, man, she was a blessing to work with and was right there with it. She's, however old she is, she could be 20 years old, so she was climbing out of
403 years old.
She is, yeah, I heard, she looks incredible. But she was climbing in and out of elevator shafts, jumping everywhere, falling from things. She was so committed, and it was, I mean, she was one of my favorite people I've ever worked with. No offense.
Also, what's really cool about women in horror, we also have Barbara Crampton, who is such a class act as well.
Yeah.
It's so beautiful. And she walks on set, everybody's just kind of like, wait, we're making a glamorous horror. And everybody, oh, like Barbara Crampton walks on.
And she walks
I was in
on
a scene with her, and I said to her, I think my character has a crush on your character. A little backstory between us, Barbara.
Yeah.
Barbara said, okay.
Wow.
But we weren't naked, though.
About half naked.
At my age, half naked is
I
fine.
was a 10th naked.
A 10th naked, I'll take that.
That's like a foot.
That's all right.
So what's neat is to have, you know, Cody and Courtney representing the kind of new generation going through this House of Horrors. And I described that house as kind of like a roller coaster through the fun house. And we have some great practical effects as well, too. I think most of you out there are probably in agreement that CGI has been a little overdone. Okay? So we have great practical effects, and I said it before in interviews, and I'm going to say it here with the world premiere of this trailer. We have a practical effect that rivals the chest burster scene in Alien. I promise you. And it's all done practically. There's CGI, there's nothing. And to tell you, when you see that scene in the movie, there's a guy that was a background performer who was right up front on that. Remember that guy? That guy, he had no idea what was coming. He had a front row seat to this, and when that effect went off, he's like, and we put it in the movie. Like, that is so good. I want a t-shirt. That would rival your t-shirt. I'm telling you, that guy's face is a classic, man. He's just like, oh.
They brought like 20 gallons of blood with them.
That's what I was going to say. I hope you guys...
Full of blood. And the blood in the movie, here's a little backstory. The slime from Ghostbusters, the gentleman who created the recipe and owns it, was part of our crew, and he made the slime red. So basically, that blood is the same as the slime from Ghostbusters.
And it is slippery.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I hope you kept that one. I go to kick. And
Oh, you kept it.
Oh, you
He
did?
went on his ass.
I have a stunt where I'm fighting somebody and I went to kick him across his face and this one just went up. I swear I went like 5 feet and it boom!
That's great.
I kept going too.
Do it again.
It's bloody. There's some bloody parts.
Definitely. Yeah, we have a lot of gore in this because we know that's what fans are asking for. And so what I feel, and this is my personal opinion, is that the state of horror is in flux right now, and that the horror that these gentlemen have brought and given you all such great memories is kind of in danger of being sanitized, and we don't want, I've heard this already, we don't want offensive horror. What the hell is that? Okay? People are saying that. We don't want, is that going to be offensive? I guess, you know, we better go back and clean up the devil's rejects. And maybe it's not a house of 1,000 corpses. Maybe it's a house of 1,000 people that aren't feeling so well. Maybe we should do that.
You know, it's funny because the movie that I did with Gunnar, the Chainsaw 3D, was originally called Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3D. And then it came back that the word massacre didn't test well. That's why it's called Texas Chainsaw 3D, because massacre didn't test well.
Yeah, it might scare audiences that are going to see a horror movie.
You know,
When you start making PG-13 horror films,
Right.
okay, Sorry.
Best part about Death House is, besides all the gore and all the craziness, there's a story to follow, and at the end of the movie, you're going to question the way you viewed something at the beginning of the movie. And it's literally the type of movie when you walk out, you'll be talking to the person you went with, trying to figure out, is that what you think you understood? And that way he questions it, and then you got the second one. And that's how it's done. So we're not just, capitalizing on a successful movie and saying, hey, let's make a sequel. This is actually a 6-movie story.
Sid, what were you saying about PG-13R?
Yeah, well, I mean, how much sense does that make? However, a horror film also does not have to be like 65 gallons of blood.
We only did 20.
I did a little film called Spider Baby. Only horror film I've ever seen that has not got one drop of blood in the whole film. It's just creepier than that.
Well, it was black and white.
Well, that's true.
It's kind of hard to tell.
And I agree. I mean, like a movie like Lake Mungo has no blood, and I think that's one of the creepiest films I've ever seen. Everybody has seen Lake Mungo. So, and Sleepaway Camp also has very little blood as well too. And so does Halloween. The original Halloween has very little blood.
Well, then we made up for it.
Yeah, we made up for it.
Well, I was going to say, what is she taking about?
That's Lindsay Hartley, for those of you who know her from
I kept
Passions.
thinking that was Felissa.
She was totally naked in that.
Yeah.
Totally naked in a
Well, then we can't use her.
Right. But we really have made something that does have a solid story that will extend over 6 motion pictures. For example, Bill's Line, and for those of you who are real fans, and that's what I'm going to close off with before we turn it over to Cody and the rest and Felissa, and that is because Felissa grew up in this genre. I mean, you were 13 with Sleepaway Camp? 13 years old. And her mother was like, yeah, go ahead, do it. Her penis was 19. That is correct. But
It's like, what?
Her penis was 19, is that?
that is correct. Yeah, her penis was of age. Yes.
Here's my philosophy of life, okay? Life is like a penis. It only gets harder if you make it that way.
That is true. That is true.
That's going to be our new tagline.
Yeah, that'll be the Death House tagline. What we want for all of you out there is to spread the word also to fans to step this up. We need fans to step up their expectations. Don't just accept whatever's thrown to you. Here comes a future one right here.
Death House 10.
Following her daddy right up on stage. Right? But we do. As fans, you owe it to the genre as well to demand better. Okay? So think about that as well too. That's what we're asking for this film. The marketing campaign is not just, oh, come see a horror film. This is not going to be marketed like a Blumhouse film or any of those films that are like a supernatural conjuring. That's not what we're doing. What we're marketing this as, this is a valuable cultural timepiece. The people that are in this film are extremely important to the genre. And that's why it was such an honor to work with all of them, because of what they brought. So we really are in the midst of some great people here who are giving good memories. So how many of you remember the ending of Sleepaway Camp? See? Right. And how many of you sat there looking, what the heck? What? You know? I mean, seriously. Or
I still am.
The penis.
Have you seen it? Bill, have you seen my penis? I'm fully naked in Sleepaway.
That is awesome. Is there a Blu-ray?
No Blu-ray.
There is a
I'm going to
Blu-ray.
buy you a copy.
All right, yeah, buy me a copy.
I will. Bring it to your table. I'll sign it.
Chopped liver?
Yes, Sid your copy.
Do you,
I'll show you the real thing.
do any of you out there have any questions
Show you the
about the
real
film?
thing.
We're going to
Get the Blu-ray.
show the trailer one more time. Do any of you have any questions on the film itself? Yeah.
I have one. I truly appreciate the physical medium in a lot of this. Do you have any plans for like a collector's edition of the actual product? Like with maybe...
That's a great question. The answer is yes. I've talked to Rick about this as well to get a collector's edition that's almost like an heirloom to pass down to future generations. Because the work that these gentlemen and this lady here that have done in the last 20, 30 years is important and an important record to
Now
preserve.
have all the little extras in it.
Yes.
Well, I guess you kind of answered my question because, you know, talking about everything going behind the scenes, the slip up and all that, would that be included?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Cody, well, Cody's slip up is in the film. Yeah, it was so good we put it in.
We actually were prepared for this and had someone on, learning from past mistakes, on set, doing behind the scenes. So we didn't have to call the actors up, you know, 3 months later to say, hey, can we interview you? It was actually at the thing. I mean, I was interviewed in the parking lot of the prison where the trucks pull around.
Yes, question? Oh, okay, sorry. Any other questions? Yes?
What is the target date for release?
That'll be up to the distributors. The film is in post-production right now, and it's finishing up all its effects work, color correction, sound, all of that. The CGI that is used in this movie is to clean up things or stitch things together, but all the effects that you see, especially, like I said, the alien one that I say, and there is another one that involves Kane and Ari and the hail-off, all absolute 100% practical.
But it will be ready for end-of-year release. We just don't know whether they'll choose to do it before the end of the year or right after.
That's correct.
But that's the target for it.
Yes, sir. I can let Rick answer all that stuff before I came along. The script was done. Gunnar had a complete script. And then Rick will tell you how that, when I came to it, basically what happened was Gunnar sat down with me and he said, look, it needs this, it needs that. And he was such a generous man that he wasn't like, well, I'm Gunnar Henson and you must do it this way. He wanted it better. And so I sat down and I thought about it. We had a lot of note conversations. And then I was sitting in a coffee shop, like a bar coffee shop where I go to write sometimes, and it was right around Super Bowl time, and the preview for Jurassic World came on. And when it did, that's when it hit me. I was like, there it is. This is what we have to do. The monsters get out. And they're stuck. Okay, he and Courtney are stuck with all the monsters getting out. The only way out is down. And then in addition to that, Gunnar demanded that the 5 evils, there were 4 evils, I made a 5th, it made a woman, okay, and it said that it makes out 5 points on the pentagram. And Bill is the leader of the 5 evils. And what I'm extremely excited about with Bill is his first line in the film, for all of you who are film experts and you understand, there are so many Easter eggs in this movie, okay, both audio and visual. But Bill's first line when he meets Cody is, I am God, the great and terrible. So, yeah, it's a great line. So, yes. Yeah, it is a long development process, and the budget on this one allowed us, you have to get creative, you have to get innovative. And there were nights where we went to shoot something and I thought, we got to change this up. And so that, because we don't have a lot of money to do certain things, you had to get more creative. It's the old Spielberg throw the barrels in the water when something doesn't work. You know, it's less is more. Like for example, when Cody and Courtney and Dee are walking through most of Death House, I never told them what they were going to see. So when those events happen for the first time on the first take, those reactions are real. They're very real. So Rick, would you like to close? And Felissa, do you have any words? I'm sorry, I want to make sure.
Regarding Gunnar and the script, Gunnar was the first one when we talked about in the beginning. He has a great story to tell, and he can describe a character, but he couldn't write dialogue to save his life. That's what he said. I hate saying that now, to save his life. But he wanted somebody to take his story and create something bigger out of it and give the dialogue it deserved. And Harrison wasn't the first one. I had another writer-director on it, and it just wasn't its time. Everything just fell away, and it looked like, you know, there was another delay. And Gunnar always stayed strong, and he kept saying to me, Rick, I know it's going to get made, and you're the one, you and Steve, that's my partner, Steve and Chase, you guys are going to be the ones that get this made, whatever you need me to do. And then when Harrison came aboard, Harrison and Gunnar clicked. and that's how it really came about. So, you know, Harrison took it and made it his own, but he made it his own at the same time Gunner's story was still, you know, woven in between it. I guess it's because you guys worked together or just shared the same beliefs, but Gunner was proud of this script like we are, and this is, I gotta tell you something, this movie is, we live this movie every day. We didn't just make a movie and say, let's hope we can sell it or get the best deal. This is, I moved my entire family and business out to LA so we could be out there and make this happen. You know, I believe in Death House and this franchise, and I think it's going to go strong, and I've said it before, I believe we're going to do bigger numbers than The Conjuring, and we're going to beat them at the box office. And even though it's not about that, it's fucking about that. We're going to do it. So, I really appreciate, thank you guys so much for coming out. Thank everybody up here. Listen, if you want to say anything, does anybody want to, but I just want to say thank you guys.
It's a great team. I just want to thank also Jason McFiggins, who's so incredible on our team at Death House, and Christian Ackerman, who worked so hard with us in the LA offices. So these guys who are behind the scenes are incredible. And so
we show the trailer one last time to close?
Yeah, I was also going to add that Christian knows how to rock a conga line. I was also going to add, I had a good idea, which is maybe for the advertising, we could have, for Death House, we could have a picture of the White House. I don't know, I mean, you know, yes, no.
I like it.
Politics, sex, and
wait, now you guys are getting to see